Hi, and welcome to Tax Tip of the Week. Today we're continuing our S4HANA series, focusing on the tax aspects of an S4HANA implementation. And today the subject is about operational transfer pricing. And there's a lot of requirements around operational transfer pricing. That could be something like business alignment, and there's a need maybe to discuss your end-to-end processes and your operating models. But to enlighten us a bit on that, we have invited Ronan Ferry. And Ronan, can you please give some insights on the operational transfer pricing in an S4HANA context?
Thanks, Jonas, and great to be invited and have the opportunity to contribute to your S4HANA series, and especially to spend some time today on transfer pricing and an operational TP. I suppose if I were to highlight 4 or 5 key focus areas that would lead to a successful TP implementation with S4HANA, I would definitely have to start with business alignment. With operational TP kind of crossing so many different finance processes like record to report, order to cash, procure to pay, but also like supply chain, inventory, management accounting, controllership, and treasury teams, it is really critical for tax to align with all these teams earlier on in the process to make sure that all your requirements as they relate to transfer price and intercompany are aligned. I always find that it's critical for tax to be involved here, because if you're not involved, you're not aligned, the end result is often that the data or the reports or the process of the tax are currently used to can actually be negatively impacted as opposed to positively. The second area to highlight would be to have that early focus on your process and operating model. We would always advocate for anyone embarking on an S4 journey to really consider your future state operational TP process and that desired operating model. And this really helps you strategically think on how you can utilize and get the most out of any S4 deployment. Thirdly and the third point I'd really like to highlight is data. Well, with the SAP HANA database, it does really revolutionize how data in ERP systems is stored and retrieved. So really important to think through that tax data need for transfer pricing. Many TP processes are currently very manual and Excel driven, as we're all aware of. But when you look at why, it's really due to that bad data quality, not enough data granularity for TP purposes. And this is really your opportunity to try change that. And so really think through the granularity that you want your data at when you're looking at your general ledger, your cost and profit centers, your products or services, and businesses and legal entity levels. All that needs to be factored in to make this successful. Fourthly, let's maybe focus on automation. And often when you're looking at S4HANA for operational TP purposes, it's probably the first time many tax departments or TP teams have had the opportunity to really think about automating most, if not all, of their TP processes. And that's right from looking at your tangible goods, your services, cost allocations, your management charge outs, whether all a cost plus or return on sales. But I think it's important to really know that this could entail you going beyond the core S4HANA ERP system and needing to look at bolt-on products or SAP products like SAP Analytics Cloud or Profitability and Performance Management or PAPM, or even indeed other non-SAP OTP products. So I would really encourage everyone embarking on this S4 journey to really go look at these products, understand these tools, what they can bring, their functionality and key features, and really understand how they can really improve your operational TP process as it currently is. The final point, Jonas, to bring today, I suppose we're all really familiar with the ever-changing tax environment that we're in, whether it's the Biden proposals in the US, to the OECD initiatives, even looking at the G7 minimum tax rate announcements just this week. And if you bring a mindset just beyond meeting compliance obligations, but rather making tax a true strategic value-added advisor to the business, S4HANA can really help you on that journey. And what it does, it brings with it this enhanced ability for scenario planning and what-if analysis around transfer pricing and tax data. Again, through SAP Analytics Cloud or PAPM, And it really helps tax show the overall business and financial impact to these changes in advance, as well as bringing that level of extra granularity to profit monitoring to provide that true value insight to the business. So with that, Jonas, I'll hand it back to you, and hopefully I've given you and the listener some key areas to focus on in making any S4 implementation successful for transfer pricing.
Thank you, Ronan, for giving us this tax tip around operational transfer pricing. Indeed, looking at which processes you can automate and whether the data you have available is key. And I think there's something to work upon for the most clients in a potential S4HANA implementation in the near future. Thank you all for tuning in to this tax tip. We look forward to serve you the next tax tip next week, also around S4HANA. So stay tuned. Thank you.